All right, welcome back to Midcap Mantra. A lot of you would have traded or would have heard about Religare Technova. It's been renamed as Dion Global Solutions. Would be interesting to see what the road ahead for the company is, because if you read our paper yesterday, it spoke about how there is a 25% growth that the company is targeting in revenues in FY11, some acquisition plans that the company has. So we thought it best to get the management, the man himself, in our studios and discuss the plans of the company going ahead. And we've done precisely that. CEO of the company, Ralph Horne, joins us right now to speak about the plans for Dion Global going ahead. Ralph, thanks so much for taking the time out.
Thank you.
25% growth in revenue in FY11. I'm guessing that is probably a given. Considering all the costs that are surrounding Indian companies in all verticals or in all businesses, how would the bottom line growth also shape up? You believe you'll do 20-25% in top line, bottom line FY11, possibly even FY12?
Yeah, well, the last couple of years we've actually been putting a business together. The name change really is a culmination of a 6-step process to establish a business, to establish a development center here in India, in Noida, to bring products into the business, to have a strategy to sell products globally, to establish a global distribution network. And so really the culmination of 2 years' work. And we've been doing this during a time of extreme financial difficulty and uncertainty. But despite that, we expect to bring the operating profit of the business into the positive for the first time in a few years, actually.
Well, since you're talking about the overall strategy of growth, you're looking at inorganic moves, you're looking at acquisitions. You've marked out about $50 million for the same. What's the strategy? What's the plan there?
I think at the moment we're firmly focused in the capital market space. So many of our products, such as in India, we have internet trading solutions. Across Asia, we have settlement solutions. In the UK, we have risk solutions. And to date, we've been very firmly focused in capital markets. I think looking to the future, we'd like to extend that. It's all around the provision of products around IPR. The risk product is already taken us into the AMC space. I think we'd like to extend those offerings into the AMC space. Risk, financial analytics are growth areas right across the board. So I think those are the sort of areas we'd like to be looking at.
What about emerging markets, expanding overseas?
Emerging markets, over the last 12 months, we've opened offices in Dubai, in Vietnam, in Indonesia. The latter two in particular are going exceptionally well. Going forward, I think we'd really like to look at Latin America as well.
All right. Couple of questions, Ralph. One is, you mentioned about you coming into the black operationally for the first time. Would that happen for FY11 as a year by the end of the fourth quarter, or would it happen on a quarterly basis? And then do you expect that performance to improve in the quarters ahead?
Yes, ours is very much a cyclical business, as are many businesses actually. But certainly we're expecting a good Q4 at operating profit level, which is what I was talking about. And going forward, we expect quarter-on-quarter reasonable growth. Still very cyclical, but an upward trend in the business.
It's not easy business, I'm sure, Ralph, because competition is immense. I mean, we speak to some of the well-established players as well, and they are finding difficulty in managing costs as also improving business growth on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Where would growth for you come from? Would it be from emerging markets, India in particular, or would you rather focus more on the domestic developed markets, where also, because of the regulatory pressures being high, it would be difficult to do business, isn't it?
Yes, it depends on the individual dynamics of those markets. Emerging markets, by definition, are growing themselves, and so there are inherent opportunities in those markets. The dynamics of more mature markets are different. We're seeing a huge trend towards risk solutions, and that's why we're looking at that in particular as opportunities going forward.
Would you be scaling up via volumes in terms of getting more contracts within the emerging market space, or looking at integration via acquisitions, or will it be more of a pricing move where you are servicing a certain number of clients but are charging a higher price for it?
I think in emerging markets we see those markets growing, and as such it's selling more and more of our products. In the mature markets, I think that is possibly an area where we will look at inorganic growth as a business.
Okay, so last two questions, Ralph. How would money for the acquisitions come about? Would it be via some additional fundraising that you would do over the next 6 months?
I think it's fair to say that we are looking to raise additional funds.
Equity?
Yes, we're looking at opportunities to maybe restructure the balance sheet, to reduce the debt in the balance sheet, to give us a funding capability to go forward and complete these acquisitions.
So would this happen in the next 3 months, you would think, fundraising plans?
Maybe not 3 months, possibly 6 months.
Okay, and one last question, Ralph. You mentioned 25% growth, top line, bottom line also in FY11?
Yes, well, we're going from negative to positive.
Positive, okay,
Yeah.
great. How would FY12 shape up?
I think we're looking in terms of organic growth at maybe 25% per annum. We'd like to double that with acquisitions.
Wish you all the best for that, Ralph. Thank you so
very
much
much
for joining us today, and all the
Thank
best
you.
with the acquisition plans as well.
Thank you.
That's Dion Global Solutions. Well, a lot of meat in what he's saying. 25% growth in top line would be in the black in Q4. Q4 would be a very strong quarter, mind you. We'll aim for 25% growth in top line and bottom line in FY12 as well, and would double those targets via acquisitions. 50 million set aside for acquisitions, fundraising plans over the next 6 months. Expect a couple of these acquisitions to be closed in the next 6 to 12 months. Watch out. CEO is fairly bullish with regards to the plans going ahead. Deepak, on the charts, this one?
This stock topped out quite early, back in June 2009, so it's been in a downtrend since then. It was about 130, 140 rupees, it's down to 50 already. Actually, the market right now is not in a mood to sort of reward promise of future growth. I think it's just very skeptical right now about everything. So the stocks like these, which may have a very good future, are still not in demand. So I think the trend would really have to change before you start seeing these kind of stocks picking up again.
Take a break on that note. Sugar is extremely buoyant in trade today. In fact, a lot of these stocks are extremely active. Get a chart check on those stocks. Get in a word on the commodity pack as well from our commodities editor Manisha Gupta in moments.